Merch is happening! Oh my gosh. This is so cute.
But what do we think about these, Vance?
It's very exciting. Okay.
Wait, that's cute.
Yay!
I don't know what happened here. It's not 100% centered.
Is that centered?
I hate this.
What is this?
I am very concerned. What the hell is happening here?
Fuck. I am still just in total disbelief that I have merch. I'm wearing my merch, I have merch. This is unreal. If this is the first time you guys are hearing about this, it's because I launch all of my products and stuff on Instagram first. That's where I have my least engaged audience, so it's easiest for me to launch over there because then if there's any problems or any kinks that I need to work out, I can figure that all out before I actually announce it to all of you. So yes, we freaking have merch and I am so incredibly excited, but honestly, the journey to getting here has been a long one. I was actually supposed to launch merch at the beginning of April, and obviously it is now November. At the very beginning of the year, I always set goals for myself for the new year, and one of the goals that I wanted to achieve was to come out with physical products. And I actually have a call tomorrow, which is very exciting, about coming out with merch. My management team actually reached out to a couple of different merch companies. We did a lot of research figuring out what ones we actually wanted to talk to, and then I got on the phone with 3 merch teams all within a week. 2 were actually on the same day, and based off of those calls, like I knew immediately what team I wanted to work with. That call was so good. It actually went really freaking well. I wanted to go with a merch company because you can do more custom things. Like the original design that I have for my merch was going around the collar here, and it was gonna be super cute, and I was gonna have like CM on the sleeve and like the tag and everything was gonna be like really customized. And they also deal with the manufacturing, the shipping, the returns, the customer service, everything. And it's a great way for you to just be the talent per se, and then kind of like outsource and have other people do it that actually like knows what they're doing. If you are signing on a management team, a merch team, like whatever you are trying to like add to your business here, for me, it's a lot of the vibes. I have a pretty good gut feeling on most things, and I asked a lot of questions about like logistics, rollout, when we could launch, like what does the whole entire process look like, the commission and like the payment and all of that, and we're gonna talk about that in a bit. But I asked all of those questions and then it really came down to the vibes for me. So there was one company that I did not feel good with at all, and then there was another company that I felt absolutely amazing with, and then one of the companies actually didn't do embroidery, and I really wanted all of my pieces basically to be embroidery. So I decided to nix them, nix the other one that didn't give me good vibes, and I decided on a company. I have a contract signed and we are ready to freaking get to work. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes when you're creating merch, and that should not be a surprise at all. Like there's just a lot of logistics to figure out, and of course the design process, even writing like the privacy policy, figuring out shipping and returns, and all of like there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So the management team was actually working on finding me blanks and samples that they thought I would like in terms of crew necks, t-shirts, long sleeves, and hats, because that's originally what I was gonna go with. Well, they sent a lot. Oh, okay. What is this? So this is just like 2 different brands of t-shirts, figuring out what quality I like, and like I mean, all the details, everything about it. I didn't realize I was getting so much. Actually, I didn't really know what I was getting. I don't even know if you'll be able to see this like on the screen, but like you can see the tag through it. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah. I don't know, girls with bras, I don't want that to be a problem.
But what do we think about these, Vance?
Oh, this one has a much thicker collar. This one actually feels really thick. While I was doing other logistical stuff behind the scenes. So I ended up buying new domains. So the original plan, I like really wanted everything under my shop, cathrinmanning.com site. You guys know I use that for all of my digital products. And I really didn't want to have 3 separate websites. You know, I didn't want to have my blog, my digital shop, and then a merch shop. But with signing on a merch company, they had to completely take over the website in order to do like fulfillment and figure out the payment and all of that stuff. It would have made it so much more complicated complicated if they would have tried to integrate on my shop page. So I actually bought new domains. I bought merch Cathrin Manning and Cathrin Manning merch, and I also bought my current shop page is Shop Cathrin Manning, but I also bought Cathrin Manning Shop. And the reason why I do that is to protect myself and you guys from any fraudulent people that are trying to scam you and basically just impersonate me and just like rip you off. And I do not want that at all. So I always buy extra domains that are a little like slightly different than what my actual domain is, just so people don't do that to you guys. So we just wrapped up a merch call going over the next steps. I need to really work on the designs and figuring out all of that stuff. And I already have it pretty nailed down what I want to do in terms of the look and the feel. I had an original vision of what I wanted my merch to be, and I really didn't want it to scream Cathrin Manning. Like, I didn't want anything that was just like Cathrin Manning on a shirt. I wanted stuff that I honestly wanted to wear and that you guys would feel proud wearing in public, and not that it screams this is someone's merch. I knew I was gonna go with my typical saying, create a life you love, because that's my brand in general, is create a life you love, doing what you love. So I knew I was gonna go with that. And then I wanted something that tied in my tattoo here for me, because this is also like a big part of my brand messaging, is like, do it for you, and I'm living my life for me. I ended up mocking up a few original designs. I sent it off to my management team. They sent it off to the merch company, and it's here. I have been waiting for this package all dang day, and it's here. Oh my gosh. Look at all those tones. So, the merch company that I was working with had an in-house design team, and that was one of the things, like within the contract and just like with working with them in general, is that they would do the like manufacturing, the actual embroidery, they would do shipping, returns, and they would help with the design with their design team and stuff. So I sent them the original mock-ups thinking that their design team was going to make it something better. Like, I am not a graphic designer. I have never claimed to be a graphic designer. That is not my expertise. I just sent some rough mock-ups of ideas that I had, and I thought that they were gonna help me to really fine-tune those ideas. They didn't. We gotta work on these. I don't know what happened here. I didn't approve this design, so I don't know why it's got sent to me. So what they ended up doing is they made some samples without even sending it to me first. So they just like made it in-house and then like emailed some photos over, which is great because then you don't have to pay for like the cost of shipping and stuff, and then you will get physical products in the mail later to make sure like everything is good to go, you know? But in the beginning, it was just like, here's what we created, what do you think? And they just put some stuff on some stuff, and it looked absolutely terrible. And I reached out to my management team and I was like, this isn't what I wanted. There was like a little bit of frustration. So my management team reached back out and was like, hey, this design is not approved. Like, we want to see like what else can we do with it? And they were like, no, we'll just send it to you and see what you think when you have it in person. And I was like, I already know I hate it. Don't spend the money on shipping. Like, I'm not going to magically love it. When my first sample arrived, I was really excited because the crew neck came in and it was absolutely perfect. Like, I loved the crew neck so much. Oh my gosh, that actually looks so good. Stop. With the CM. Oh my gosh, the CM here. Stitched in? Shut up. Shut up. But otherwise, like everything else, I was like, this is just no. And that was just kind of like the first red flag. The more samples that I got, the more I started to worry. I kept getting samples where things just were not centered. I like the sizing, but I almost think that needs to be shifted over to the right a little bit. It's not 100% centered. Why do I feel like it's not centered? Is that centered? And then they just sent this again, which should be centered. T-shirts were not centered, hats were not centered, and it was just really strange for a company that I know works with big creators that has done this so many times in the past. I just like found it really, really weird that nothing was coming in centered. And there was just a lack of attention to detail. They sent me samples of things that aren't my size. I won't fit in them. I thought it was originally going to be 3, but 3.5 is way, way, way too big. Why do I feel like these CMs are bigger than my first CMs? Yeah, they sent me a bad hat. What the hell is happening here? We would make corrections to one design or change the size of something, and then the next sample I got, the size would be back to the original, and it was just like a real lack of attention to detail, and I'm such a detail-oriented person that it was starting to make me worry, but I just wanted to come out with merch so bad that I just like ignored red flags, you know? That's just like Cathrin Manning in general here with relationships, with merch companies. I just ignored red flags. I'm honestly so glad that it got to a point where my management team ended up reaching out to me.
I don't want to say like we're just overthinking things, but it is important to think through the reliability. And once we sign off and once we go to the production, a lot of that then is out of our control. Like we can't obviously micromanage that piece of it. So I don't know how you're feeling.
When the hats arrive and like things aren't centered and like shirts, it's not centered, and it's like common sense, easy shit, honestly, that it's like, especially after I received the last round of hats and then like the CM wasn't the right size, I was like, clearly they're not paying attention to detail. And like, I'm such a detail-oriented person, and I don't know what they're gonna send out to my subscribers. Like, I don't want them to send out the wrong thing or something that's not centered, and then like it's on me.
I am very concerned about you launching with them.
Yeah. So if you guys remember me sitting in that spot wearing that shirt, I was filming a video actually about how I scaled my income from $19,000 a year to $30,000 a month. I think I actually had only done maybe the intro. I was like probably 5 minutes in. I got a text from my manager saying, hey, do you got like quick 5 minutes from a phone call? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. I had no idea what it was about. She expressed her concerns with the merch company that we're using. And like as soon as she started talking, I like felt my mood drop, but like in my heart, I knew I had the exact same concerns. And it just sucks because like I've been working with this brand since January. So like in reality, it's been like 5 months, but I just like feel like I wasted so much time and I had so much faith in them. But like there's just like little things that just like kept adding up. And then she expressed her concerns, and I'm like so glad that she did. I'm like so glad that we had the relationship where it's like, we just talk to each other straight, you know? Everything happens for a reason. Thankfully, within the contract, there was a termination clause, so either party could opt to terminate, and you just needed written notice within 30 days it was terminated. And thank goodness that was in there. Like when I was on the phone with my management team, that was one of my main concerns. I knew that we had some kind of clause in there, but I didn't exactly remember what it entailed and if I would have to pay them back for all of these samples that they sent me. And I just did not know what that was going to look like, so that was one of my main concerns. So I really wanted a merch team, and once I dropped my first merch company, my management team went out and pitched to other merch companies. It just ended up coming down to the fact that I am still too small of a creator, which blows me away, honestly, because when I was first getting started, like I used to look up to people that had like 60,000, 100,000, like 250,000 subscribers. I used to think like, holy shoot, they're famous. They get recognized all the time when they're out in public. Like I used to look up to those people like they were something different. I don't know. And this is just like a life lesson in general as an influencer. Is like once you start to gain more of a following, like you realize that everyone is just a human being. I think a lot of people look up to celebrities and think that there's something truly, truly special about them when it's like, they're just a human being. Like I've heard the quote, like we all put on our pants the same way in the morning, you know, like all of us take shits. It didn't fully hit me until like my audience started to grow. And I don't even know what level I was at, but I was just like, oh, like I'm still me. I'm still the same exact person. It's like, I just have this number of people that are following me, but that does not change me at all. And it's interesting. The reason that I'm saying this is because I used to think that people that had like 100,000 subscribers could get a merch team no problem. When the reality is like I have got 430,000 subscribers and I'm still too small for a lot of merch companies, which is totally okay. Like obviously merch companies are betting a lot on you. So if you guys do not know how it works, merch companies, depending on the contract, they will pay up front for things. So they will pay for the cost of the goods. They will do the manufacturing. They will do the shipping, the returning, all of that stuff. And then you get a cut of the sales. They obviously have to cover the cost, and then they will keep a cut themselves because they have to make money. And then you also get a little cut. So they're really investing in you by doing all this upfront work. And then like until sales actually go live and then like money starts flowing in, like then they get paid back for what they're doing. So like it totally makes sense. Like they got to invest in the right people, and I get it. I am not complaining at all here. I just like want to share with you guys like what really goes on. So the reality is I'm too small for a lot of merch companies, and it just like came down to like either you do it yourself or you don't do it. And one of my things is like I feel so bad because I've been hyping it up to you guys and I have been so excited to launch it. And like I told you guys, it's coming in like a month and a half. God. It just sucks. So I decided to try out some print-on-demand companies, and I really had to do a lot of research first to figure out what ones did embroidery and had like good embroidery, of course. So I did my research, decided to place an order, and I got some samples. Yes, I'm in my pajamas, okay? It's like 4:30 on a Friday. I just took a bath, drank a beer. I'm feeling great. But an exciting package came and I had no idea what this package was, so I kind of opened it and then realized it was merch and I was like, girl, you gotta film this. So we've got a couple of new samples. Okay. So we have a sample of the Doing It For Me hat. Next up, crew neck. This is obviously the most important piece. I gotta throw this on and see if I like the placement. The one thing I don't love is that I can't have my CM on a hoodie. Now, the only downside with doing print on demand, actually there's a couple of downsides. Obviously, I'm taking on all of the work. So with a merch company, they take on the work and like the returns and all of that stuff. I'm obviously not doing the embroidery. I'm not doing the shipping, but any returns and customer service, I'm taking that on myself. It is all run on my own website that I am managing. I had to create the sales pages, come up with the pricing. I am also being expensed. So for every single order, I am expensed for the blank and the cost of the work. And then I can go over the logistics with you guys in another video if you guys want to learn more about that, because it is a whole process, but the expense is really on me here. The other downside with doing print on demand is that I can't have as much customization as I could have had with a merch company. So with my crew necks that I have got here, especially because they're embroidery, if I decided to do print, I could have print in multiple areas, but with embroidery, I could only do it in one spot. So this does not have my branding anywhere on it, which definitely does bum me out. And I'm hoping with merch in the future, if I can move to a merch company or whatever I decide to do, I really hope that I can have my CM on all of my merch, because my hats do have it on the back here. And this is embroidery on the back and the front. You know what? This is super cute. This is really cute, right? I gotta figure out, I think the placement might be a little bit to the left, so I might shift it over to the right more, just so that it doesn't go in the armpit. But this is so cute. I actually kind of like this more so than the other design. I thought the other design was cool because it went around the neck, but this, oh, I'm excited about this. Like I told you guys, like I didn't want my merch to scream, this is Cathrin Manning. So like it's not that big of a deal. And if you guys buy it, you know it's like my merch anyways. But yeah, we got some freaking merch. Yay! I know I've talked about this a little bit on my Instagram stories and especially on my vlog channel. I've been sharing with you guys like some updates here and there, but I just wanted to create a full video sharing the full breakdown of how the heck I've gotten here, why I'm not using a merch company, why I'm doing print on demand, and of course, announcing that I freaking have merch. So if you guys want to shop it, I'm going to include a link in the description bar down below. Since it is print on demand, it's not going to sell out unless the blanks are not available. So if the blanks aren't available, then of course, like some sizes may not be available. As of right now, they are all freaking available. So you guys can go ahead and get yours, and all the information is available on my shop, cathrinmanning.com website. So if you guys want another video about the logistics of merch, like the whole launch process, because baby, like launch day was so exciting, or even like me talking more about like how I'm expensed and like all of that, I can obviously create another video on that if that's something that you are interested in. But otherwise, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys back here on Tuesday with another one. Bye guys.